If you're a business owner that has to make every decision in your business, you can't take a vacation, or you're just straight up exhausted, your business owns you. You don't own it. Most business owners can't take a day off, much less a 2-week vacation, without dropping sales or losing customers. Not because owning a business is a prison sentence, it's because you may not have the right mindset. You may not have the right systems. To be honest with you, most businesses are just being built on the wrong framework. If you don't start addressing this and fixing this now, you're going to end up with what I've termed an involuntary exit, which is what about 95% of companies do. Through burnout, bankruptcy, divorce, disease, all of the different things that can come up, which puts the business owner in a place of desperation where people that know the acquisition game better than you are going to kick your butt. I've seen owners lose millions in value by not doing the things I'm about to tell you. It took me 3 very painful bankruptcies to learn how to buy, grow, and ultimately exit my companies. And I'm going to share with you the 9 things that you must do, most of which you'll never have heard before. Step number 1 is to come to the intellectually superior conclusion that you're going to exit. We have a tagline at Built to Exit, which is this: everybody exits, how matters. That's a core principle, a core platform that if you understand that one domino, and it'll knock over a whole bunch of things that you don't have to work on later on in your business. A lot of people build their business for emotional reasons, or they feel like they're building a baby that's not your baby. If they feel like you're going to own this forever. Nobody owns a business forever. As far as I know, nobody's ever gotten out of this thing alive. I know that's a little bit morbid, but the point is to drive the point home to you that if you can get this one thing, if you listen to this podcast, this is the only thing that you take, is that everybody exits, how matters. That's going to change your life. So many business owners are out there building their business to look better on Instagram, or to buy a bigger house, or to drive a faster car, all the time trying to impress people that probably don't like you anyway. It's the wrong premise to build from. When I said earlier that most businesses are building on the wrong framework, this is a major component of it. This piece, everybody exits. Plan for yours now. Now that you've come to the conclusion that everybody exits, let's talk about step number 2. Let's re-architect your business to create the kind of cash flow that you're looking for while you still own your business. Seems simple. Again, it seems simple. But in order for you to optimize the cash flow for your business that you're taking out of it right now, you've got to set your business up in a way that is demonstrating value, that the revenues are climbing, that the expenses are declining, that your concentration risk is going away in your business. So all of the steps that you have to take to build your business to be satisfying your cash flow needs right now are going to be the same exact processes and procedures that you need to put into your business to make it attractive to a future buyer. An offshoot of that is step number 3. Determine exactly how much cash you want your business to put in your pocket every year. Once you've determined how much money you want to put in your pocket every year, it eliminates distractions. It eliminates leakage. It eliminates buying things that you don't need, or having subscriptions in your business that you haven't used or you're not using. It puts your mindset on one objective, which is the only objective that a business is built for, is how much free cash flow is it providing to the business owner. Step number 4 is to get very specific on what I call your end game. What is your end game? That means how much money is it going to take for you to have in investments or whatever it is in your life? How much cash are you going to have to stack for you to be able to live comfortably for the rest of your life? Most people don't do this exercise. We have an entire 3 hours of research and training on this one methodology, is to figure out how much money you need in the bank for you to be able to live comfortably for the rest of your life. Again, that's your end game. That's why you're playing this game. That's why you're sacrificing, putting in the hours, sacrificing relationships and health, and everything that you're doing is so that eventually someday you will be able to not have to worry about money. And if you don't know that number clearly, crystal clear in your own brain, you're going to be playing the game without clarity. It's like flying a plane in the dark with no instruments. And as my mentor Keith Cunningham says, keep in mind that business is not a bathrobe. One size does not fit all. Look at your business. There is really no wrong answer to this question, to this exercise. You could want $2 million. You could want $5 million. You could want $50 million. It's up to you. But that is the end game, is the end marker from your starting point of where you're working now and where you want to go. And the only thing in between there are boxes, assets, and SOPs and systems and processes that you need to have in place to be able to meet your objective. There's no business that cannot meet whatever your objective is. Step number 5, and this one's a little bit more fun. Set a moonshot goal. If you're younger, or you've got some upside, or you really want to dig back into this and reignite that enthusiasm of owning your business, and you want to crush this game, then set a moonshot goal. Yes, we've talked about 2 things. How much do you want the business to pay you while you have it? How much money do you need to be able to retire comfortably and live the rest of your life on that money? And this one is a little bit more fun. Maybe you want a jet. Maybe you want to travel around the world. Maybe you want to start a charity. Maybe you want to start another business. So for number 5, I'm handing you Mickey's magic wand. You get to wave it over your life and say, if this happened, I would have crazy opportunities in my life. I would be able to satisfy every desire, every dream, myself, for my family, and for the things that I want to accomplish with my life. Step number 6 is for you to format your business into 4 quadrants for measurement purposes. It's going to be the same 4 quadrants that anybody wanting to purchase your business is going to determine how much value, enterprise value, your asset is worth. Number 1, relationship to customer. That is all things that guarantee predictable revenue. Again, for you while you own it, and secondarily for somebody who's going to buy it. They're going to want to know that when they buy the business, that revenue is going to continue and not dip or not go away just because you leave. The next one is financial clarity. I know a lot of business owners because I've been around y'all for so many years. I am one of you. And I remember being uneducated and then becoming more and more sophisticated. My sophistication level jumped tremendously, the highest amount in this particular area. It gave me more clarity because here's the truth. Business speaks in numbers. And if you do not know how to translate those numbers into better activities, or activities that you need to stop, or where you need to invest so that things keep going and growing, that's a problem. So this financial clarity is your business speaking the language that it's getting better and better, and it's predictable. And when somebody comes in and starts doing due diligence on your business, they can look at the numbers and see the story that your business is telling them without you having to say a word. The third quadrant is for you to focus on building a team that can operate the business without your presence. Think of it in terms of, you might be the president or the CEO of your business, and your job promotion is going to be to chairman or chairwoman. That's oversight, not being in the business on a day-to-day basis, but in oversight, measurement, and that type of thing. Put yourself in a position of a chairman, chairwoman in oversight position, not working in the day-to-day. The reason that this is going to be important is because nobody that is going to buy your business is going to want you to stay with the business. And if they do want you to stay with the business, you're going to have a job working for somebody else that you're running a business so that they can pay you what they call earnouts. That's not the greatest position to be in. Remember, this whole game is around price, timing, and terms. And when you do not have a team that can operate without you being in the building, you really don't have anything to sell. The fourth quadrant is your exit planning quadrant. And there's three types of planning to do here. This is a very in-depth subject, but if you get started on these three things, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to put your business in a much better place to win. The first one we're going to talk about is, there's three different forms of EBITDA. If you don't know what EBITDA is, do a little bit of research on it. It's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Now, there's something called an as-is EBITDA in your business. And this is basically what you're reporting to the government. You know that you want to report as little as you possibly can to the government. So if you don't understand and somebody comes in and says, I want to buy your business based on your EBITDA, and you don't realize that there's three different types of EBITDA, you might sell at this point, which means you're going to get the least amount of money for your business that you can possibly get. The second type is owner add back EBITDA. And this is the most common one. I would say 95, 96%, because they don't know the one I'm about to tell you after this. But this is the most common. And what this means is they add back in all of the things that you took out attempting to reduce your tax burden. Distributions, your vehicle, home improvements, networking vacations, etc. So this is where you add all that back in, and that drives the EBITDA value up, so your multiple goes up. The third type of EBITDA is something that is far more advanced, and when you get this right, it really puts you in the driver's seat when you're in the conversation with somebody who wants to buy your business. Again, if you've ever gone through this before, one of the things that I want you to know, if you've never gone through this before, if you have gone through this before, you know what I'm about to say, and if you haven't gone through this before, then you're going to want to pay attention. Most people that are buying businesses, it's not their first time. They're very good at what they do. You have to arm yourself or you're going to lose that battle. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It happened to me. It's what's called a dictated exit. I got my tail handed to me in a sale because I didn't know what I was doing. And I had arrogance because I had built a nice business, and people who were buying businesses came in and they had a whole different skill set than me. Yes, I could run the business. Yes, I made it successful. Yes, it was profitable. Yes, I had a great culture. All of that stuff, but I had no idea this new language called acquisition. And once I learned that, once I learned that language, I understood the third piece, which is a pro forma adjusted EBITDA. All that means is that you're going to dive in, and now you are crafting your business. You are now fine-tuning it for the next buyer of your business by thinking ahead like they do. Most of the time and the money spent on buying your business is going to be in what's called a due diligence phase. In that due diligence, the people that are looking at your business have one objective, and that's to drive down the value of your business and to extend the time period by which they pay for it, and also to put the least amount of cash in by making you carry most of the debt. Okay? Pro forma adjusted EBITDA flips this on its head, lets them know that you understand the game, lets them know that you understand, with or without them, that your business is going to predictably grow over the next 4, 5, 7, 10 years because you've done the thinking. Very important for you to dig in on this one. Number 7 is very, very important. Let me preface it with this statement. Most of our biggest customer base, the biggest chunk of our customers that we have coming through, are people that attempted a sale the first time and had a terrible experience. They weren't able to get sold, or they sold and the people that bought it didn't have enough money to pay them off, or somebody bought the company. They didn't know actually how to run a business, and they ruined the reputation, and we've had to put all that back together again. This step, number 7, will help you alleviate that. Surround yourself with a team that has done this before. do your due diligence. You want a broker, hopefully that's us, but you want a broker that's done this before. You want to have a CPA that's done this before. You want to have an attorney that's done this before. You want to have an investment banker that's done this before. Every single professional that you want to surround yourself with, you want to make sure that they've done it before. This is super important. Make sure that you pick your team very, very carefully. Final point on this, which is super, super important that you get and that you understand. I have watched deal after deal after deal, millions after millions after millions of dollars be lost because the people, the business owners, when they were going through the transaction, did not up-level and pay the money for the professionals needed in mergers and acquisition over and over and over again, because they've used their cousin, because they have a friend, because they have somebody that's been helping them for 20 years. Do not let this stop you from up-leveling the team that has done this before and has a great reputation. If you need any names, you call us. Point number 8. It's going to be short and sweet, but I need to drop it in here. We've said it in multiple different ways in some of the other points that we've made, but here I want to say it explicitly. Make building your business, the outcome of building your business, freedom. It sounds a little weird, but if you think about it, common sense tells us that we have to buy back our freedom. You have the greatest asset, the greatest tool that has ever been invented for all of us, no matter where we were born, our background, our ethnicity, any of those things to matter, but for us to be able to critically assess our own lives, to become better at skill sets, to be able to learn this system called selling my business, to be able to learn to do the thing that you've done that's provided for you and your family for so long. Make the outcome freedom for you and your family. Last and final point. Point number 9. Ruthlessly measure your business in all of the areas that we've talked about in this podcast. Look at every number, look at every performance, look at every KPI, look at your bank account, look at the percentage of profitability, look at everything, measure everything, and change things quickly when you see that it's out of whack. These numbers that you're putting down, the things that you're tracking, are going to be the report card by which your business is judged by the next buyer of your business. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. If you just take 2 things from this video and apply it to your business, change the framework of your business, the methodology, the systems, the processes to align with an easy decision for somebody who's going to pay millions of dollars for your asset called a business. Secondly, the framework of your mindset. Everybody exits. How you exit matters. That should resonate and ring in your ears after this video. You'll start to see the way you see your business will shift. The way that you approach it will change. You're going to start to see small incremental changes that are going to lead to you selling your greatest asset for more money than you could have ever thought possible. Thanks for being with me today. Make sure that you catch the next video.